And then bring it back to entrepreneurship a little bit too. And, going back to when you worked and hired Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, what do you guys think about finding good people to work with? Is it apparent? Can you do an interview and find good people? Or what's the trick with starting a company and finding and putting together a good team?
Hire quickly and fire faster.
Okay.
Because everybody can trick an interview process, but they can't trick their outcome. And there are also people who over time are toxic, and they may be very, very talented, but their toxicity is much worse for the company than anything else.
Yeah, you don't know who you're working with until you actually work with them. I think that's what I've learned in my, nowhere near Nolan's experience, but you just don't know who they are until you're working with them. And sometimes it works out that, we'll hire an intern, and the intern's turns out to be an amazing. And you're like, wow. And then conversely, you hire somebody that you really want, and it just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
But I think that Nolan's point is just, be fluid. What we usually do is say, look, let's take 3 months and see how it goes. Let's not lock anything in until we get to work with each other a little bit. And that's not just for the company, it's for the employee too, because they might say, hey, this wasn't exactly what I was expecting either.
Right.
So it's like everyone's got to be happy for it to work. So.
I've fired so many people, and it's amazing how some of them have come back to me and said being fired was the best thing that ever happened to me, because I was not good because I didn't like what I was doing.
Yeah.
And
it's not a good fit.
I can remember hiring.
That's usually how it is.
Yeah.
I can remember hiring a waitress that waited on me, and I just liked her personality, and I said, why don't you come work for me? And I had an opening in accounts receivable. She collected more money than anybody ever.
Just had the personality for it. Yeah.
I mean, she served me the burger, and I hired her, and I didn't know whether she had any kind of schooling or any skills, but I knew her personality.
Yeah.
And that a lot of times there's an underappreciation of passion. People who are passionate people they're just alive. There are a lot of people that literally are dead from the neck up, and they have been most of their life.
Yeah.
And then there are other people that are massively alive. And I think sometimes if you hire massively alive people, they'll get the skills that they need.
Yeah.
Just because they want to.
Right. No, and I was going to ask.
That's Steve Jobs.
Yeah, and could you see that immediately with him?
No.
The passion, or
within 3 months.
Okay.
He was good and difficult.
Yeah.
But I tell the story about the first time that I really noticed him. He was actually hired by my vice president of engineering. But he came into my office one day, and he had a circuit board. He says, your company's going to fail unless you can teach your people how to solder. He says, look at this, cold solder joint, bad solder joint, cold solder joint, wicking right here. And I said, wow, yeah, that came from here? He said, yeah. He says, you just, this is failure.
Yeah.
These will fail, not necessarily today, but in 3 weeks or a month or a year, this is a failed product.
Yeah.
And I said, well, why don't you teach somebody? Teach us the right way. And Steve, being the meticulous guy that he was, he did some classes and actually fixed the problem.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
It's cool. I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've done the same thing that Nolan's done when you encounter somebody who takes care and takes pride in whatever they're doing. I mean, when I was in college working in retail stores, if it was my turn to sweep the floor or stack the T-shirts, I made sure that I stacked the T-shirts and swept the floor as best I could. So it's that I think what you look for is, no matter what you're doing, if you're doing your best at it, that translates to all sorts of stuff.
Yep.
I tell my boys, I said, there are people who come to work like this. You want people that come to work like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
They want to grab life and make it happen.
Ready to go.
And do the best they can with it. That's what you really